Hello, I am Walker from trekyeah, and this is my first shot at an armchair. Evan has been urging us to really bare our souls for YouTube audience and monetization. So here is my first shot at that. What I want to talk to you about today is really my travel philosophy and kind of my life philosophy. And I'll just, I'll open with that. First off, take with a grain of salt that I'm 23 years old, so I really don't know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to figure it out, but I think that if you're not full of shit, you kind of know that nobody knows what they're talking about and everybody's trying to figure it out. So, old people are just old people and they're still people trying to figure it out. So here goes my shot at that. I guess you could sum up my travel and life kind of philosophy, my modus operandi in a quote by Voltaire, which is, find new things is really what it boils down to. Find new things. This is by Voltaire. This is from the book Candide, which is about this young Westphalian prince who grows up in a castle as a philosopher who teaches him that everything is for the best in this, the best of all possible worlds. So whenever anything happens, oh, it's for the best because this is the best of all possible worlds. At which point his castle is, raped and pillaged. His family's raped and murdered in front of him. He joins the Austro-Hungarian army and finds battle, and it's really like out of the frying pan into the fire, out of the fire into the deep fryer, into the shit pile of rusty nails. And it gets to a point where this quote is, he's in the South American jungle having been chased by the indigenous people, and him and his sidekick, they see a canoe by the river, and his sidekick says to him, hey, there's a canoe, let's tip it over and go into the river. A river always leads to some inhabited place. If we do not find pleasant things, we shall at least find new things. So that really struck a chord with me, as I'm really like driven by novelty and experience. They say millennials are driven by experience. I definitely am. I don't know about the rest of the millennials, but there's another quote. David Lee Roth, the rock and roll superstar. He's since he's kind of retired, he's been out doing some crazy shit. Like, I think one of the things he's doing is like staying on a raft in shark infested waters. And this other guy, Henry Rollins, who's a really cool guy, who's the lead man of Black Flag, and then he travels a lot right now. He's been to all these tons of countries where he shouldn't go, according to government warnings. But he was talking to David Lee Roth, and David Lee Roth, he's like, why are you doing this? And David Lee Roth says to him, well, Henry, because, sometimes do not get eaten today is a good thing to have on your to-do list. And that really struck a chord with me too, is like adding these new experiences in really give you perspective, and don't get eaten today. If you're just like, okay, today I gotta send these expense reports in, that really gets put in perspective. So find new things. I guess I'll dive in now that I've explained I've explained the essence. I'll go into why I think that, and why I've chosen that, and kind of why it's chosen me. So it kind of ties down to happiness. In our Going Deep with Alex Stevenson, the founder of Ninja Teacher, which you can see on our channel, like, subscribe, comment. You'll see at one point we kind of, the conversation strayed into what is happiness, and And that's really, that's the question. That's what mankind has been struggling to answer for so long, is like, what is happiness? What happens when we die? Those are, comment a third one if you know it, and I'll try to answer that. I'll address that in a response video. But those two, that's a big one. And so, you get tons of answers when you ask this question. Some say, money gives you happiness, achievement gives you happiness, achieving your goals and stuff like that, which some people it does, but I argued that, tying your happiness to this destination, tying it to something, it's fleeting. Money can buy you happiness. It definitely can. Like they say, Daniel Tosh says, money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you a jet ski, and try frowning on a jet ski. And he's right. Like with all that stuff, you have a ton of money and happiness is gonna come, but it's fleeting. This is something I want to get into later, but we ride where we ride. We have this as humans, this, what's it called? Where you adapt to your circumstances. It's like one of the senses or whatever. I'll have to figure this out. But anyways, like we adapt to our environment as humans. It's a survival mechanism. And so you get all this money and you're happy, but eventually you level out and it becomes, your baseline. Same with achievements. Like you achieve something and you're never done. It just pushes it farther. So what I argued is that what I think of happiness and how to achieve happiness is just, pull back your expectations of happiness. Don't buy what, as a marketer, don't buy what marketers are trying to sell you of this good life. You have a life right now. It's about being honest with yourself in the moment is what brings about happiness. And I argue also that happiness isn't always about being happy. It's not about being happy. It's about being here. So, if you're fucking depressed and whatever, like, yeah, acknowledge that you're depressed. Life does that. That's a feeling, but boy, you get to feel that. How great is that? I argued, I don't know if this is something that ever will make it to the surface, but I'll bring it up again here. I argue that you can be happy as, in the worst of lives, as like a little Syrian child in the midst of a crisis. You are living such a life right there that has so much, I can say that sitting here on my high throne, but I think that there's value being present wherever. I've gone way deep into this. Comment, I'll address it, whatever. Anyways, it's about just being in the moment. The joy is in the journey, and trying to find the joy in the journey. So this comes down to, internal. Everybody rides where they ride. Some people, it's an up and down. And, what goes up has to come down. So you're happy, you're gonna be not so happy at some point. It's because that's, the yin and the yang. So, but you ride where you ride. Some people ride very low. Their baseline is pretty depressed. Some people ride pretty high. I like to think that I ride a little higher than average. I think I'm normally a pretty happy person. But even like in this week, I've been hitting some depressed parts. I think that it's because I had such a high ride with my sister's wedding last week that it's really, what goes up must come down. But it's good. I mean, that variety and everything, it gives you a chance to be in the moment and be like, yeah, I'm kind of in a shit mood, but it's nice to be able to be in a shit mood. Enjoy it, right? So travel, this is getting to travel, like, you really, like, I feel that traveling all the time and living in a different place gives you the ability to just break into that cycle, your baseline, where you ride. it gives you the chance to really just boom, whack it away. Because when you experience culture shock, when you get off the plane and you're in Vietnam after living in Iowa for 20 years, and you're looking around like, what is this? And you're just amazed. That gives you a great chance to be in the moment. Now, eventually, I mean, right now I've been living in Vietnam for 3 months and I'm used to it. It's, I catch myself, I'll be driving my moped down the street with palm trees and just wild shit going on that you don't see back home. And I'll have to, tell myself, I'll go, whoa, I'm in a different place. Like, you are far from where you started, young lad. And so it's all about, for me, is bringing yourself, being aware, being in the moment. And that's something that we all try to do, but it's easier said than done. Travel makes it easier. Introducing those new environments make you easier. Another thing, environmental-wise, external-wise, is travel gives you the opportunity to change the things that affect your happiness and affect who you are, which, like, your surroundings, physical, your surroundings, like people, your surroundings, like what you put into your body, what you do. You can get in these environments that are toxic. Like, I love the Iowa City and the University of Iowa, but the culture there is just like drink booze. Hey, drink booze. And it's important to break that cycle. And like, booze is a depressant, right? Booze is poison that you're putting in your body. I absolutely love booze, but it's important to control it. And so that's why, I'll address this in a later video, but I do sober months every once in a while, just a detox. Like, whoa. And it's great. It's good for you. I recommend it. You don't have to say goodbye to booze for forever, but just like asserting your control over booze is an important thing. And that's in the same way that breaks the cycle and breaks your routine. Traveling breaks the habits and everything. You got to pack up all your shit and move what you have to a different country or a different city in this country, a different district in the city. You really got to get rid of all the bullshit that you picked up in the last however long and just take what you need. And that's kind of, take what you need applies to your habits, your routines, what you've been doing, and it gives you a chance to start anew. Sometimes it's tough. You'll end up in a crowded part of Ho Chi Minh City where you can't run outside. It's uncomfortable and inconvenient to run outside, but you just that happens. Adjust, adapt to your environment. So yeah, I mean, that's a big reason why I travel. I'm driven by novelty, if you ask my family, and as you can probably tell by the structure of this video, I have semi-severe attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which I do not take medicine for because that's part of life. And I can enjoy, right now, like after filming this video, I'm kind of just laughing at myself because it just gives you an opportunity. You look at where you're at in life and you look at yourself in the moment and just be present, and you'll almost start to cry is what I can say. Yeah, and travel has given me the most opportunities to do that, to look at myself in the moment and say, hey, Walker, this is where you're at right now. You're right here, buddy. It's kind of like your life flashing before your eyes. It's all laid there, and you're like, cool. Couple anecdotes that kind of illustrate this philosophy. I was just in Tokyo on a layover. This philosophy applies to people. It applies to places. It applies to food. People. I'm always find new things. I love to meet people. I'm a ENFP, so I love to find new people and see what they're up to, see what they're in. It's really, I recharge by meeting people, which has the negative of people in my life that I, don't keep up with because it's just, I take them for granted maybe, but it's not that I don't appreciate them or whatever. It's just like, hey, I'm off in bozo land. Reach out to me. By the way, if you're still watching this and you want to reach out to me, send me like a Facebook message. We can Facebook video chat. I would like that a lot. If we can just like get a face-to-face message. I like that more than like text. Like if I haven't seen you in forever, let's just hop on the FaceTime and get some FaceTime because that's the most valuable. Anyways, places. So yeah, like I'm in Tokyo and I don't know what is going on. I can't read anything, but I'm like, I got like 11 hours. Let me hop a plane, hop a little metro railway down to Shibuya Crossing and mess around a little bit and get back. And so, I'm absolutely lost on this train. I took the wrong train, but I figured I'll just sit here. I'll just sit here on the train. The train always leads back to somewhere, right? And I can see the city like this, which is a fun life hack. Like if you're traveling on a budget, just hop on the metro and go around the city, look out the window for a while. It's pretty cool. People watch pretty well. But anyways, like I got out, went into Tokyo, and coming back to the airport, I don't think I had enough money. I only transferred so much and exchanged so much, and I didn't notify my bank, so I thought they would freeze my card. So I'm standing there in line at like customer service. I'm like, fuck, I hope they speak English. God, and I'm just getting so much cortisone, whatever the stress hormone. But then I just stop and I'm like, hey, it's a good thing that this is Earth and we all kind of have the same conventions. Like I wait in this line, I talk to them, they help me out. If I was on Mars, this shit would be bizarre. I would have no idea what's going on. And everything worked out, and I was happy and I got to laugh about it, and that's where the fun is at. Food also, I'll eat anything once at least. I feel that there's no bad food. You've just had it prepared bad if you don't like it, or your taste isn't accumulated to it. But there's no bad food. If people eat it somewhere, then it's good. So I had that like half-aged duck, and that was chill. It just tasted like egg. Wouldn't eat it a ton, but like it wasn't bad. So where am I at now? If you're still watching this and you're like about to quit out, you just thank Evan for encouraging me to do this. Yeah, and so I mean, I think it's really, really important to just get uncomfortable and be comfortable getting uncomfortable. So find new things, push yourself, get outside of your comfort zone, and always push the boundaries, whether it's in your own life, whether it's in travel, whether it's in the daily tasks, whether it's in challenging yourself to be a better person. It might not be pleasant, but it will be new, and that's what drives me. Thank you.